Hi, officer. Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Anything I can help you with? And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something. Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises. Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Don't have any. Those get cleaned out so fast even the local bums can only stand by and watch with watery mouths. Always by strangers too. Union folk don't stand this kind of stuff around here. Not really. I know some basic moves and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I use to keep these animals in check? You would put me in an early grave. Gone. The name is Lilienne. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. Are you now? There are a lot of law bringers around Martinez, but not a lot of law. Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I got kids, can't have guns around them, and sometimes a sharp blade is enough to keep folks at bay. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Sure. Venomosity. But boys will be boys, and God knows we don't have many around. So far the sword has been enough to keep them in line. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. Oh? Believe me, everyone here is a proper man. Must be something about poverty that makes all the men real. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled. No, there's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves. Good for you. He, however, was lost to the waves. It's been quite a while now. Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass. Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch. Well, the RCM has to wait for another one, 'cause some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing. Oh, very. Finding pieces of glass, bits of wood. Every once in a while we get dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. What else? Bottles, drugs also, lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass. Very romantic. Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work when all your time and energy goes to staying alive? You have almost nothing to set aside to actually fight your way out. Oh, but of course. Why didn't I think of that? Look, I have mouths to feed, and as much as I'd like a change, they need stability first. Exactly. I don't mean to complain about my sad, pauper life. We do manage all right. We're tough people here. I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here, and I don't know. There's just something about this shithole. Hi. Sunny days. You got a problem with that? Good. 'Twould have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. Sure it is. 'Twould be bad news for the skiff if it weren't. Bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. Look at you, you can barely walk. Everyone does that, in a way. You don't have to get shot for that. What happened to you anyway? We heard gunshots from the town. They were closer than usual. Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible. Officer Harry, you're wounded. Why are you wounded? You look terrible. Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual. That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. Well, good for you. Officer Harry, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible. Officer, what happened? You're wounded. Why are you wounded? You look terrible. Doesn't look like nothing. Looks like you've got banged up real good. That's nothing to brag about, officer. So you're a killer. That's good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead. Aye. I bet they are. The good ones, at least. Aye. I guess you are. I understand that's how it goes. Of course. Can I help you with something? Aye. Not a lot of RCM men who aren't killers. Aye. I've always taken you for one, that's for sure. Not a lot of RCM men who aren't killers. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. Be sad to lose the first one. If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either. Aye. See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsizing. That there is an absolutely 100% rock-free skiff. You got that? Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think, bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there. My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge. Hundreds, maybe thousands even. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on barges. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me, please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank. Be careful out there. Sea's calm as death, but still. There are ruins underwater. You can scrape the paint. Or worse. Holding a funeral doesn't mean you love death. Don't be childish. You're a police officer. And why so? Our things are part of our life world. They're made with human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least. Our things are part of our life world. They're made with human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least. If you say so. Oh, yeah. You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything. I guess men with authority have their quirks. What brings you here, lawbringer? So what brings you here, lawbringer? The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lilienne. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one. I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them. Fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. Aye. But don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, Officer Harry? Aye, I guess you do. What's on your mind, Officer Harry? Aye, I guess you do. What's on your mind, officer? Aye, but don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, officer? Where are you? This says by signing I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that. Aye. Why not? Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise? Who has a pen in everything? That Everard and the union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess union members have children too. Fine. Here you go. Here you go. Everard and his plan for the village. I guess it does sound nice enough. That's sweet of you. It really is. I check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk. Drunks are inexplicably drawn to markets. Might be why they have such trouble staying in business. Johnny what now? That's not proper cop behaviour, is it? Not the best use of your time, is it, Mr. Lawman? Harassing homeless people on the beach and the like? I'm sure you have. I don't have to hear about it, but I do wish you luck finding the thing. Look near the fish market north of here, on the boardwalk. Drunks are drawn to markets. Sure. That makes it all right. Still, I do hope you find it. Look near the fish market north of here, on the boardwalk. Drunks are drawn to markets. If one of 'em lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any. You're welcome. I shouldn't have. That's what I asked you. It's a youth centre and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Yes, well, I looked at it and thought I should. Because it says youth centre and I have my own children. I am, of course, just a stupid poor person, so what do I know? Besides, you also need Isabel's signature. If it's a bad idea, she won't sign. Sure, but it's temporary and for a good cause, and I need to give the children something else to do. Probably, but it is a youth centre and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyhow, you also need Isabel's signature. If it's a bad idea, she won't sign. You'll find she's a tougher nut to crack than me. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. Too fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyway, you'll have to get Isabel to sign it too. I saw the signatories. She won't if it's a bad idea. She's a much tougher nut to crack. Always seemed like there was something off about that islet to me. Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. Let's see. Who are you looking for? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning. Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. 2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture. I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen? Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle-class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore. I wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working-class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnoncourt? Or Ignis Nielsen? Or the Great Lost City of Ace under the waves? A lot of stuff. I guess that makes you into some sort of terrier. Either way, I can't help you out. Intense. You're like some kind of dark terrier with your endless searches. Maybe there's something else I can help you with then. Oh, there's plenty missing. But that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle. Although you seem very thorough. Tell me, instead, is there something else I can help you with? Oh? Who? Unbelievable. You are looking for more lost things. Doom's Spiral losing his jacket, on the other hand, is very believable. I mean, he has lost everything else already. Remarkable. That one already lost everything else, and now his jacket too. It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer looking for it. Good old Doom's Spiral. Upper management to the core. Aye. We all feel that way sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the protagonist, even in my own life story. Anyway, I'd looked near the fish market north of here on the boardwalk. Drunks are drawn to markets for some reason. Was there something else? But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? I apologise. It looked like you could face down any horror in the world with that unchanging grin. Looked like a shield, yeah. By himself, inadvertently. He never respected the sea, went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day he didn't come back. Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. I don't. But us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Oh? The kids too, right? Working class people don't have that luxury. That's for rich folks. We just go on. I buried my man, mourned for a month, and that was it. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. Not for the worst, at least. Fine by me. Yeah, that's what I tell myself every morning. Shot, huh? The boat will be ready when the sea turns and the winds settle. You can't command the weather, officer. In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready. Go right ahead. This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Wasn't feeling it? That calls for a funeral if you ask me. Quite the sign. An eyesore too. Situation calls for a funeral if you ask me. An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. That's great. Until then, you should maybe start thinking about the funeral. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. You never know, officer. Some things might have a soul. But I get it. Rational guy like you probably has a lot on his plate anyway. So what can I do for you? Police business. I understand. Anything I can help you with? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it. Absolutely. Things like what, for example? I understand, believe me. I really do. I think about all the frivolous side activities I could be doing every time I go out there with my nets. But daydreaming is a rich man's game. At sea, you can't afford to be careless and dream. Anyway, what are we talking about here again? Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer. Anyway, what did you want? What? That's a good impression. You really cracked me up, officer. Now, how can I help you? Now, there's a whole shipment of big words. May mankind be plentiful, I guess. Can I get back to my nets now? Alcohol? Connect? I'm not sure I'm following you. Funny sailor jokes. Sorry if I'm not laughing out loud, but the comedy has worn thin over the years. I have, and I don't really. Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer? Wow, that is definitely a trek you're going to take alone. Now, if there isn't anything else, I'd really like to get this net done. Oh no, you come with us. Seriously, I insist. All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. Fine. The date is dropped. Now, what else can we discuss? I do, yes. Stroll on the beach sounds nice, doesn't it? All right, I'll see the kids haven't killed each other and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes? Yes. Someone could get pushed in the water. Maybe even get laughed at. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. Stroll on the beach sounds nice. All right, I guess I'll be seeing you at Land's End in the evening, when it gets dark, all right? All right, I'll go put the kids to bed and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes. Charming. My man was like that too. Had to knock 2 of his teeth out to establish a good relationship dynamic. I'll see you at Land's End in the evening. Be there after dark, all right? Charming. My man was like that too. Had to knock 2 of his teeth out to establish a good relationship dynamic. I'll see you at Land's End in, let's say, 15 minutes. Me too. It's been ages since I just had a normal conversation with one of you guys. Aye. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. Aye, the sea's going to calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least. You need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. That's it. Understood? Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Aye. So here you are. It's late and it's raining. Water is cold. Ice cold. Aye. So here you are. Mid-noon and the rain is ice cold as always. And it appears the drunks and teenagers haven't arrived yet. Aye. So here you are. The sun is up and the rain is cold. Ice cold. I don't mind. At least it keeps the drunks and teenagers at bay. Aye, so here you are. It's late and it's snowing. The snow is... well, it's not really snow, it's slush. Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon. If we stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege of drunks and teenagers. Aye, so here you are. Mid-noon and the snow is... well, it's not really snow, it's slush. At least the drunks and teenagers haven't joined us yet. Aye, so here you are. I'm a bit surprised we're alone. It's mid-noon and the sun is out. I expected more drunks and teenagers. And drunk teenagers. Aye, so here you are. Sun is up and there's a ton of snow coming down. Well, it's not really snow, it's slush. At least it keeps the drunks and teenagers at bay. Aye, so here you are. Early in the morning and the sun is up. And not a drunk or teenager in sight. I'm surprised. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples. Aye, so an officer should be. All that running around must need a lot of structuring. The world. Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. So this is what this is. Responsible. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you'll have a revelation and crack whatever you're on. It's no bother. Don't get many excuses to spend time alone. What with my trio of monsters. Aye, you're the starriest of them all. Now you're just being another kind of fool. You should know I don't spend time with people out of any sense of obligation. You're just... what's the word? Lamentable, aren't you? Aye, by the looks of you, you do. Well, we're here now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Drying out? Becoming religious? To hell with it, I'm not going to lecture you about your drinking. Not here. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh? I've seen quite a few of those first days. Aye. Still, good for you. Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. Here it comes. Me? No. Just grew up on the sea. Know which way the wind's blowing and all. Knew the weather'd clear up once we got here. Otherwise, it would have been a less pleasant stroll, nay? Wait, do you think I did that? Nay. I just grew up on the sea, that's all. Know which way the wind is blowing. As for your paranatural abilities, I'd love to hear about them sometime, really, but can't we just enjoy the view for a moment? Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer. It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organisation or government. How can that be? Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition. Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede. Maybe desert people sometimes disagree. No. And it will outlive them all. I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team. These aren't real fishhooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fishhooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them. I always do. I like it. It's like being on another planet, a water planet, with water worries and water joys. It's enough that my fish goes there. 50 real a piece they asked for spring cod. It didn't suck. I'll let you get back to your business now. Twins probably found a landmine by now. It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. And what about you? Keeping the name? So, are you going to keep the name? Well then. Detective Cousteau. Well then, Officer Dubois. Well then, Harry. Can't wait to hear it. Well then, HDB. I better head home to the kids. And its people. Glad to be of assistance then. Oh, indeed. So, now that you know, you keeping the name, do they? Some of them do, but sounds to me like you should choose your allies better, that's all. Aye, it's political. No need to step on a soapbox about it. What if we disagree? Good one. I'm gonna go with the rope. Aye. And a benevolent one. When did you last have one of those on your side? That it does. But then, we are also enemies to our enemies, hey? And so she shines on us. The cops and the commies, the killers and the saints. You know, well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you. So, to hell with youth. You know, the wind's going to pick up soon, and I have to go, but, well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you. So, to hell with love. You know, well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you. So, to hell with cruel gods. You know, well, maybe it's that god that makes all those atoms burn up there in that big thing. You know, have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. Farewell. Doubt it. But thank you for the company. Aye. Brains generally aren't very good, are they? I prefer backs, arms, shoulders, lungs too. You know, thank you. Out there on the other planet, the sea, you start seeing things in a strange light. I'm glad I got to share it. You know, no. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been.